Hey everyone, this is James. It is March 25th, 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is my 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. This is BTC USD on the Bitfinex exchange. So today I'm using Bitfinex instead of Binance, but they're literally a couple of dollars off, so nothing's really going to change here. First of all, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I like to go over the overall trend. We're obviously been in this downtrend. We've bucked our way out of it. We used it as a springboard, which you can't see because there's a gray line right here. But basically, we used that to break out and then just reassumed another negative downtrend. Now, the question is, and the question that I posed on Friday was this a higher low? And I thought that we were going to put in a higher low, okay? Like I've been saying that since I've started doing this. And I started talking about the 6,000 and I saw this run. I said, I think they're going to put in a higher low, and then the overall market will be good for a longer term trend structure, like something that's nice and subtle, like you would see in the NASDAQ, in the stock market, the fiat market, etc. I do think that we are going to break out of this negative line downtrend. The problem is how far do we go? So I have a few areas marked up. I think we could make it. We would have to take out at least the 9100 high. If we can take out the 9100 high, we're possibly going to move up to about 9700-ish area. From there, if we break through that zone, then we could retest, break above this area, and then start to move our way more north, which could bring us into the 10,000 range, like mid 10,000 range is where I'm thinking. So I don't want to go any crazier than that because it's just way too far in the future. And right now, just the short-term numbers are the previous high of about roughly 91.70, and then another previous high of, let's see, 99. Let me grab it real quick. 9,900 exact. Look at that. All right, so what I have marked up right here, this is really close to the breakout zone, and I want to do the video right at this time because I was hoping that we would get our confirmation actually pretty soon on what price is going to do due to it being the overnight in the United States market, and typically about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard to about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, the market starts to kind of get red hot and typically starts to make big moves. I've been saying this to my subs and stuff that I thought that over the weekend we'd kind of just reach like a lull, and that we would, after we got our big dump, I just said, we're just going to turn a little sideways, got to work off some energy, and then from there we'll end up making our move. And I think this allows the futures market to catch up. This also allows price not to get too far ahead of Monday morning, and that's when most of your big traders are going to come in anyways, especially with the futures market. So they'll see what happens overnight and then enter in tomorrow. But typically, like I say, what happens on the weekend typically gets erased by the end of the weekend. So we started off Friday, bounced around the 9,000, and then look exactly what we did. Boom, all gone. So that's pretty typical, So this little dive bomb that we had right here didn't even freak me out. I honestly didn't even care about it because I kind of expected it. And that's what I notice in this market, and that's what I share with you guys, is that the weekends typically get negated. If not 100%, a large majority of it does. And that typically starts on Sunday afternoonish to Sunday evening to about Monday morning is when the real price action kind of starts. So I think it's just the weekend, or just like your average everyday investors. The big guys might come in and just push price either way to wreak havoc, but or at least control price in that sense. But basically, what these two little boxes are is we have our little seller's box, right, and then we have our buyer's box. So right now we have a battle between buyers and sellers, and it's just oscillating in between here. So what we're really forming in a bigger picture, what I mean by bigger picture, these are 4-hour bars. So right now I'm lassoing in maybe about like four days right here. So that's a lot of consolidation for that. It means the next move is more than likely going to be a very big move, and it could easily double this range, if not more. So we could see a move like this to the upside, or we could see a move like this to the downside. I think if we do break down, right, I'm going to talk about both sides. I've already talked about the positive side. I'm more inclined and leaning more towards the positive nature of price movement in Bitcoin right now. But if we do break down, sorry, I was trying to delete that, but if we do break down, then we will blow out this area right here. I do not think this trend line is going to hold, and we will sink significantly deeper. I think if we start to head back downward, we are going to make our way to that 6,000 bottom, and I do not think that 6,000 bottom will hold. I've said that multiple times in my previous videos, and I will stick with that. If we head down to 6, I highly doubt there's going to be a double bottom. Will there be a bounce from that area? Yeah, possibly. Is it going to be short-lived? I highly think so. I do not think anything good will come out of Bitcoin dropping below this area and not heading up. So, and the reason why I say that is that when we look at this market, okay, now I'm not going to talk about the stuff over here because this is the bubble phase. This is the euphoric phase where price gets extremely extended, and if you try to use technical analysis on this, you drive yourself crazy. All your lagging indicators are going to be nuts from this. So, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you get vertical crazy price movement like this, a lot of those indicators get messed up. That's why I only use my lines, and that's it. I focus on price action and price action alone, nothing else. If it works for you, it works for you. Stick with it, okay? I'm not trying to talk down about any form of technical analysis. If it works for you and you make money with it, you have to stick with it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. But anyways, so we have an overall negative picture in Bitcoin. I mean, you can see that. It doesn't take a genius to figure this one out. You can see just visually what is happening here in the market. The only positive sign we have is this right here. That's it. If this fails to hold, what other positive signs do you have? You have a negative downtrend, right? That's the former downtrend. Let me show everybody this. That way they can visually see the older downtrend. Let's just make it like a yellow right there. Okay, so see we got ketchup and mustard. And you can see that the yellow lines, you can see the downtrend action. You can see exactly what's occurring here. You can see that the red downtrend line set is now significantly lower and at a more negative slope. So, and as I'm talking, price has already dropped. We're 8,500 right now, 84.88. So you can see how more negative this is. If we do not break out of this, then obviously you can see that price is only getting more and more negative over time. We are continuing to put in lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and so forth. And if this doesn't break out, obviously we have another lower high. So where's that going to put us? It's going to push pressure downward, meaning that sellers are dominating, and we are going to start taking out lows and start to set more lower lows. And then obviously we'd have another lower low somewhere in here. And it'll just be a longer investment strategy that if you're hanging on, you're just really going to have to hang on, or you're just going to have to, you know, fess up and get out of the market and sit on the sidelines until the trend starts changing. So we're about to find out, and we're very close. You know, 100 points on Bitcoin's not a big deal. 300 points on Bitcoin's not a big deal. Right here. So this little rejection that we have, we're going right back to the buyer's box. These videos are done live. So like I said, I wanted to see what price unfolded, and you can see we're right here in this zone. So the question is, are these buyers going to hang in here, or are they going to leave? If they leave, we're going to have serious problem, because this right here is going to get recovered. And when it does, it'll break us out of this downtrend line. It does not mean we cannot regain that downtrend line, but there's a higher probability that we are going to continue back downward, and it's going to be a very sad story for the short term on Bitcoin, right? Who knows what the long term is going to hold? We can only make our educated guesses based on that. But anyways, right now, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I think that we still will have a breakout, right? Things are going to get a little tough. Prices are going to get squirrely tonight because we have the futures market opening. We have Monday morning right around the corner, and like I said, there's like a stranglehold on the weekend. So whatever happens on the weekend, it gets negated or it gets controlled, and there's like a stranglehold. So if you can imagine like the bigger investors just coming in and just literally grabbing and shaking Bitcoin on the weekend, that's basically what happens in a nutshell. So anyways, those are the figures. I see about 9. I see if we can break out about 9. Let me give you those numbers one more time. 9,177. We will head back up to possibly about the 9,600, 9,700 zone. This line got a little crazy on me, so it's a little bit different than that. And then the green line, which is which I think is where we kind of top out and run out of energy, is the 10,400 zone. So we'll see what happens. Sorry, that was a little alarm that I had, but that's the upside. The downside is that we break through about 7,400, 73, yeah, about 7,488 is where this is right here. So right around the 7,400 zone. If we break down through that zone, we are going to head much deeper down, and I think that we are going to start to rival that 6,000 low, and it's not going to be a good sign for Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens overnight tonight. We're headed back down right now. We're already down about 150 points, so it's not too big of a deal. It just depends on if it blows this box out. If it does, and those buyers are gone, we're going to have much deeper to fall. So everybody have a good night or good morning, or good evening, depending on where you are. And I will do another video tomorrow evening. If something wild and crazy happens in the morning, I'll try to squeeze one in, just very short. But I hope you have a great day or great night. Thank you for your support. If you do like the videos, please like them, comment, subscribe, follow, etc. I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your support. Thank you.